Well, hello everybody. Welcome to your weather forecast. I'm Dooley Godot, also known as Mr. G. This is Elite Weather, and in today's video, we're going to have that weekend weather forecast for you guys. So, happy Friday. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're watching me on TikTok or YouTube today. And if you're doing so, you know what to do. Leave your likes, your comments, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. And you can follow me on my TikTok page as well. So, as we jump into the weather forecast, we're going to talk about something today that I hoped I wasn't going to have to talk about for the rest of the spring. So, but unfortunately, I am going to have to talk about it one more time, I guess, here. And we're going to jump right into that weather forecast in our first map here. And we're going to be talking about snow. Yes, snow over parts of the Rockies here. So around eastern Colorado, Denver, Grand Junction, those areas, we're going to see some snow. Some areas is going to pick up over a foot. Some areas is only going to see a few inches. So let's take a look at this first map, and we're going to talk about what's going on out here today. And as we take a look at our western map of the western half of the United States, we do have warm weather that's going to move in across the western United States. So the Four Corners and over towards California, we're going to see high pressure building in. But however, on the leeward side of that high pressure, where we have a trough in the jet stream going into the high plains, we are going to be seeing some snow coming down from an area of low pressure moving across the Rockies. And that low pressure is going to be dropping southeast across the Rockies. So it's going to pull a lot of cold air in with it over the top of the ridge out toward the west. So we're going to be seeing some snow through parts of the Rockies. And here is a closer look at that snow we're going to be seeing in Colorado. And as you can see, it's going to be mostly focused around the eastern Colorado area, so Denver and areas points east. So we're going to be seeing that snow, and we're going to be seeing generally for 1 to 3 inches around Denver, but some areas a little bit to the south of Denver, Durango, or not Durango, but Grand Junction and places like that, we're going to be seeing as much as a foot. So some areas is going to be picking up 8 to 12, and then some areas is going to see 1 to 3, like Denver, you're going to see lighter snowfall amounts. But heavier snowfall amounts, some areas are going to be seeing 5 to 8 inches of snow, like Fort Collins, you're going to see about 4 to 8 inches of snow. 1 to 3 inches of snow, as I'm hoping this is the last hurrah for winter across the Rockies. So let's take a look at our next map, and we're going to talk about the nice warm-up that we're going to be seeing across the western U.S. as well. So with that being said, that we're seeing that snow across Colorado, but over California, parts of Utah, Nevada, and Arizona, and New Mexico, we're going to see warmer conditions. We're going to see temperatures possibly touching the 80s here in Southern California and in Southern Arizona. Might even see a few 90s as we begin to see the first vestiges of the desert heat in the Southwest. So get ready for a little bit of high pressure to build in and temperatures to dry out, the air to dry out and temperatures to warm up, as you had a lot of rain this winter from those atmospheric rivers and those El Nino influenced storms. So finally, we're going to be seeing some dry weather settle in and much warmer weather as well. So we're going to also be dealing with some severe weather. Again, we're going to talk about another shot of severe weather, and this is going to be from Friday, from today through Sunday, where we're going to be seeing severe weather here through parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, through Missouri, Indiana, and Ohio. So parts of the Ohio Valley down into the Ozarks and to the parts of the mid-Mississippi River Valley, we're going to be seeing some severe weather in across the southern plains. So Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas, we're going to see the potential for severe thunderstorms that could also lead to some flash flooding. So it's going to be several rounds of severe thunderstorms to deal with from Friday, from today through Sunday. So look at that heavy rain we're going to be seeing along the Gulf Coast over the weekend. This is our weekend setup. And that trough in the jet stream is going to be things a little bit chilly across the north tier. So Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota. So the northern plains and the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes, we're going to see things a little bit on the chilly side, especially in the mornings is where that's going to be most noticeable through the weekend and early into next week, where we're going to see those temperatures flirt with frost and freeze conditions, but we're going to see temperatures in the 60s. In the cities like Minneapolis, we're going to see overnight lows flirt with 32, so flirt with 30s, but a little bit cooler in the outlying area, so the outer suburbs and the farmland, we're going to see temperatures a little bit colder, and you may be able to cross that threshold into freeze territory where those temperatures drop below 32 degrees. We might see overnight lows or morning lows in the upper 20s, maybe around the 30-degree temperature range, so that's going to be enough for a frost advisory. So we're going to be looking at frost and freeze advisories across the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. And so again, a closer look at that frost and freeze here, that's going to extend all the way to the Northeast, the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley, and the upper Midwest, including Wisconsin, Minnesota, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, and parts of Illinois, Indiana, as well as down through Missouri. So we're going to see Missouri, Kansas, parts of Nebraska, see that potential for temperatures cold enough for frost and freeze advisory. So those headlines will be cold starts in the morning and relatively cool afternoons. We're going to see those daytime highs reach the 40s and 50s. And we're going to see another day. We have temperatures today, a high of 41. So we are above freezing here in the Twin Cities, but a high of 41 in Minneapolis today. But we're going to see that temperature hit 48 for you Saturday. So a few degrees warmer for Saturday, and then a little bit even more warmer on Sunday as highs bump way up into 60s. So we're going to see a high of 62 here across Minnesota in the Twin Cities. So a brief cool down, but then those temperatures will rise back to about average for this time of the year as we head into the beginning of next week and get through the end of the weekend. And then here is a look at what the difference is between a frost advisory and what a freeze warning is. So a frost advisory is for widespread frost, low temperatures near or slightly above freezing. Tender outdoor plants should be covered. So if you got brand new tulips growing, or plants that we would call perennials tend to be more tender. So you might not perennials. Perennials are annuals. So here, if you have annuals like petunias or plants that you have to replant every year because they only live for so long, but they're not like roses that can kind of like look like they die out but come back in the spring. So you might want to cover your weaker plants, things like that. But a freeze warning is low temperatures at or below freezing for a large area, and then the tender plants will most likely be destroyed. So because the temperatures are way cold, it's like 20s, low, maybe mid 20s, it's going to be cold enough to permanently damage those plants. So you might want to take precautions. You know what they do in Florida is when they have frost and freeze, the oranges are often damaged. The orange groves can suffer a lot of damage because of the freezing temperatures. And what they have in Florida for the professional orange groves is they have heaters out there amongst the trees that heat the air around the trees so that the trees suffer less damage. It's not foolproof, but it does help, and it allows for the trees to suffer less damage as a result of the extreme cold conditions. So again, we're going to see that cold air continuing through your day on Monday morning. You're going to have a cold start to the day in the Northeast, in the Great Lakes, and the upper Midwest. And again, we're going to have a couple weak weather systems making their way across the Northeast and the Great Lakes and through. That's going to be through next week. We're going to see these weaker weather systems, and that's going to have a brief warm up along the coastal areas from Boston down to Washington D.C. We're going to see a brief warm up, but then another surge of colder air is going to come in on the backside. Then we're going to have a second system come in to reinforce that colder air, and we're going to see temperatures become much colder across the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. So Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, we're going to see it even more colder. We might not see daytime highs get out of the 40s in some areas next week. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on this because it can change, but it's something to keep an eye on because that could impact the young crops of, a lot of the farmers now are just getting the ground ready to put their first crops into the ground. They get the first crops of corn planted, onions, different things like that. And you don't want to have to worry about the young plants being destroyed by a hard freeze. Again on Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we're going to have another shot of colder air. So it's going to continue across the Northeast, the Great Lakes, and parts of the upper Midwest. But we're going to have to deal with some heavy rain and some severe weather as well. And we're going to be seeing heavy rainfall down across the southern plains, across Texas, over into Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and into Alabama as well. And that's going to be from tonight through Sunday, where we're going to be picking up, some areas can pick up as much as 7 inches of rain. So 7 inches of rain can fall in this area here in the darker green there. So we're going to be seeing this somewhat stationary front make its way. The frontal boundary is not going to move too much to the south, but we are going to see an area of low pressure move along that boundary, and that's going to be the focus or the trigger for heavy rain and severe thunderstorms down along the Gulf Coast and the Deep South as we head through Monday. So be prepared for that advancing low pressure center along the Gulf Coast with this stationary front, and it's going to be the focus for heavy rain this weekend. And that is a look at your weather forecast. My name is Mr. G. Thank you for watching me today. Leave your likes, comments. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to the TikTok channel. This is Elite Weather, and I will see you guys again probably Sunday night. I had a lot to do tomorrow, so I won't be able to do a video for you tomorrow, but we'll be here on Sunday. But until then, have a great day today and a great weekend. Bye-bye.